I was one of the first kids to get a polio shot back in 1955. So with vaccines and their safety very much a public health debate these days, we've asked Dr. John LaPook to take a closer look at the vaccine that changed the world.
When 13-year-old music prodigy Itzhak Perlman performed on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1958, viewers could see his extraordinary talent. What they couldn't see were the braces and crutches he needed to walk.
So I was 4, so I was already running and walking, and I even remember one morning when I got up and I couldn't stand. I usually would stand up in the bed and then I would go out and get dressed and so on. And all of a sudden it was like, stop, can't do that anymore.
Perlman, like hundreds of thousands of other children around the world, was infected by the polio virus before the first vaccine against the disease became available in 1955.
You missed it by about 6 years.
Yeah. I'm here to tell you that that's what happens when you're not vaccinated. My life was changed forever. My parents were upset. They were so upset.
Heartbreaking it is for parents to watch helplessly the ravages of the disease on little ones.
The polio virus could cause paralysis so severe, some children needed machines to breathe. At the height of the pandemic in the late 1940s and early 50s, thousands of children were kept alive by these iron lungs.
There was no protection and there was no cure. You could be a hands-on parent, a hands-off parent. It didn't matter. You could not protect your child from polio.
Historian David Oshinsky is a professor at NYU Grossman School of Medicine and author of the Pulitzer Prize winner, Polio, An American Story. Polio viruses spread through water, food, and close contact with an infected person. There's no cure or FDA-approved antiviral treatment. Oshinsky remembers the toll it took on his childhood in the 1950s.
You had to stay out of crowds. You couldn't go bowling. You couldn't go to the movies. You couldn't go swimming. Beaches were closed. Swimming pools were closed. I remember my parents every week giving me a polio test. Could I touch my chin to my chest? Could I touch my toes? And the slightest stiffness would bring a panic.
You remember the fear.
I do.
What's happened to that fear?
What happened to that fear of vaccines?
The first polio vaccine was developed by Dr. Jonas Salk in 1954. Before it was released, it was tested on nearly 2 million children, with some getting the vaccine and some getting a placebo.
Try to think of an instance today where they would have an experimental vaccine and you'd have parents rush 2 million kids into line. It's unheard of today.
He-men took it with a smile as they participated in the experiment that could end the menace of polio.
The vaccine was found to be safe and effective, and cases of paralytic polio plummeted. Parents rushed to get their kids vaccinated.
What did your mother do?
Pushed me into line.
In 1961, an oral polio vaccine developed by Dr. Albert Sabin, essentially vaccine drops given with a cube of sugar, was widely adopted in the United States and abroad.
A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
It even inspired a classic song from Mary Poppins.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way.
However, today the virus still circulates in certain parts of the world.
If that virus comes to the United States and we have a significant percentage of the population unvaccinated, polio is going to come back. It is only a plane ride away.
If a person with polio comes in contact with enough people who are immune to it, the virus hits a dead end. That so-called herd immunity helps protect the unvaccinated and the estimated 20 million or more Americans with weakened immune systems. All 50 states require polio vaccination for school attendance. But in recent years, more and more parents have used exemptions to avoid vaccinating their children, raising concerns polio could return.
Dr. Milhone, welcome to Why Should I Trust You?
During a recent podcast interview, Dr. Kirk Milhone, the head of the CDC's Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices, implied it might be time for the polio vaccine to become optional.
As you look at polio, we need to not be afraid to consider that we are in a different time now than we were then. Our sanitation is different. Our risk of disease is different. And so that those all play into the evaluation of whether this is worthwhile of taking a risk for a vaccine or not.
Dr. Milhone declined our request to be interviewed for this story.
This seems to be a situation where children's lives are at risk, and that changes the dynamic.
Why do you think some parents believe that polio vaccine is not necessary?
Most people think polio is gone. They really don't have a sense that it's still percolating in parts of the world.
Just 4 years ago, an international traveler brought the polio virus to an under-vaccinated community in New York State. Without herd immunity to protect him, a 20-year-old unvaccinated man became paralyzed. For Itzhak Perlman, the choice to vaccinate against the disease that left him paralyzed is clear.
For 70 years, we have been doing very, very well and almost eradicating polio. Why take a chance? Don't take a chance. Believe me, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it.